Hi everyone, Rigby Artho here. Finally got to do my meditation today after the electrician came. I didn't do it for an hour this time, but I did manage to do it for about 40 minutes, so that's a good thing. I'll try again tomorrow, see if we can do an hour again. And yeah, it seems to be working. I'm definitely almost coming out of my body, just not to the point where I can see myself just yet. But yeah, it does take a while to get back into a routine of meditating, and until I'm into that proper routine, I'm not going to be switching off as much as I did in the past. So that's why it's taken a while to leave my body. And it's not that I want to leave my body and, like float away. But I think it's a good thing to leave your body for even if it's a split second, probably to give you a big boost and, like completely rest your body and your mind and kind of like a reset. So, yeah, we're getting there. Is anyone doing it as well? If so, please let me know and we can share stories. I do actually have a few myself. In the past, when I did meditating for like 3 hours a day, I actually started seeing spiritual grids, which is really, really strange. It was mostly when I saw writing of any kind. I'd see like loads of lines everywhere. And I mean everywhere. If my eyes were open, I would see it everywhere, over everything, as if everything had a message, and it was really weird. And when I started seeing that was when I did 3 hours a day, but I also went vegan for a week, and that's when I started seeing the spiritual grid. So, yeah, you have to get like really in the zone. And I think it only happened when I went vegan for a week, because obviously when you go vegan, your pineal gland won't be as blocked as it usually is. So it would have been like really, really cleansed. So I was seeing things that I couldn't usually see. But I'm quite happy to not see the spiritual grids 24 hours a day, if I'm honest. It's really strange, and I remember walking around my flat like, okay, they're everywhere. I was closing my eyes, I was rubbing my eyes, trying to make it go away. It's like, okay, I'm not tripping. And I looked it up and everything, and it is known as spiritual grids. So, yeah. And just so you know, if you've ever seen the film The Matrix, that is what I mean. It's kind of like that. It's just not exactly the same as it is in the film, but there is things in those grids, and you just can't. They're not very clear. Like, you can see it, but it's like it's going to a part of your brain that you don't really know, and you don't know at the front of your mind, but somewhere in your brain you understand what those grids mean. Like, one minute you don't know something, and next minute you do, but you don't quite know how you know it. That's the best way I can explain spiritual grids. But I've definitely had a few other weird experiences. As you know, I have left my body 3 times, probably more, or maybe almost 4. There was another film I've actually seen, which I've actually related to with seeing something. I can't quite explain it though. It was like everything was boxes inside of boxes. It was really weird, but the boxes weren't straight and they moved. Like, like material, like on a clothing, and it's, been put together squarely. It's kind of like that, and I saw that everywhere as well. And there was like really, really small ones, and it was just really bizarre, and it reminded me of one of the scientific films that I've actually seen once, but I've not. I can't remember at all what the film was called, and it was only a snippet of the film. But if I can recall, there was a family in it, a dad, or I think it was a dad that left to go somewhere and got lost out there. The daughter had finished the job while he was gone, and it was like a scientific discovery thing. But anyway, that's all I could remember. And I think he made his own rocket. I'm pretty sure that was the same one, but yeah. So I've seen those, and I've seen the spiritual grids, and yeah, they are quite similar, but they're not. They're not the same. There is two completely different things, and it's really bizarre to see that you can see things two completely different ways, and they aren't even this way of seeing things. So yeah, really odd. If you want to see really bizarre stuff and you want to like get into the unknown, I would suggest meditating 3 hours a day, but with a gap with each one. So like only do an hour each time. Don't do it right before you go to bed, and don't do it right after you wake up. And don't do it more than that. And try and not block your pineal gland. So, research what kind of foods would block your pineal gland, and research what kind of foods wouldn't, and you will be further in if you do it right. Anyway, that's all I can think of right now, but stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and toodaloo mofos.